So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Yechi here, and today's video is something I want to talk about for a while, but like I was meant to film it last week, but I moved it. I was going to film it yesterday, but like this morning I'm like, no, I just have to film this thing before going for class. So if I'm looking scrappy, it's because I'm about to have the hottest day of my life, because the sun these days is like, it's moving mad. And I just feel like I'm sunburned every day, no matter the amount of sunscreen I put on my body, because the sun is really crazy. Yeah, so you probably know what I'm going to talk about in this video from the title. And yeah, I'm sure you've heard a lot about mental health. That's if I tag it as mental health though. But I just feel like when it comes to the students aspect and students doing business, there's not so much light shed on it, and that's what I want my content to fill up, because I'm still in that period of time. So I just really want to talk about it because I have been, for my second year in school, I have been blogging. So I've always had something, a kind of business on the side I'm trying to grow. It has grown into other things and all. And I'm also doing engineering, like chemical engineering, and it is not beans. Like, don't let anyone deceive you and tell you that no, it's easy, just 5 years, you're done. Honestly, it is not beans, and balancing both of them has been a roller coaster, and ensuring that I'm fine while I'm doing it, because it's not just enough for you to do things these days. You have to ensure that whatever you're doing is cool, like your mind and your body is fine with it. So I'll just run down a couple of things that we need to take into consideration. We students, be creatives. Even if you're just a student alone and you don't have a business on the side, you can relate to these things. And if you're doing business, oh well, you can pick a couple of lessons from it. So I'll never forget my intro, so let's have the intro now. So the very first thing I would be advising us to do as students regarding, now this is generally for students, regarding your mental health, is stop placing your worth on your grades. So if you watched my video on how my dad almost shut down my blog, I did mention that my second year first semester my grades really dropped. So after that, I came back the next semester. I was really beating up myself about it, like, because the dropping was not small. It literally made a serious shift in my grade, and I was really beating on myself about it. I was looking down on myself. Of course, like, I didn't let it show. Most of us don't let this thing show. We try to deal with our problems like inwardly. So I was looking down on myself, and it just changed how I was seeing myself for a period of time. But I'm someone that believes well in words of affirmation. So I tell myself that whether I finish with a first class, a 2-1, a 2-2, knowing that I put in my best and I tried, I am good and I'm not worthless. So I just literally stopped looking at myself like, oh, when they mention my name, oh, I mean, this is my CGPA, and like that's the first thing I used to quantify my worth. And it was just me trying to do my best in school, reading as much as I can, and just going with the flow. Basically, I wasn't killing myself no more. And also, I know it's something that is not so easy for we Nigerian students to do, because literally when you come back home and they ask for your result and you don't do well, they start to insult you like you've never done anything for them. But like, I've washed your car, I'm good naturally. But like, your parents just start to judge you based on your result. And even when you're going to school, that's literally the first thing they tell you. They're like, oh, your result. Yeah, it's cool to encourage your children to do better, but when you start to judge them based on how well they're doing in school, is something else. Like when you introduce your child, say, this is my child, he's on the first class in Babcock studying law, and I'm like, is that all? So like, a lot of Nigerian parents put a lot of pressure on us on that aspect, but the pressure isn't healthy, because you start to kill yourself, you start to overthink, you start to look down on yourself, when sometimes the lecturer was just moving mad and you actually deserve a better grade. So don't just put too much on it. Be good, like work on your grades and all, but it doesn't really determine your worth. You are worth the best things in life with or without that first class. Yep, I said it. Okay, so the second thing now was regarding to my blogging. I had to tell myself that this is the season that I'm in, because I noticed that I started to envy a lot of creatives outside. Like, they're going for events, they're going out, and me, I'm in a school where before you leave the school for all these things, you literally have to touch a star in the cloud. Like, it's not easy for it to do the whole exit approval and to leave school. So like, it was really hard for me to go out and do anything. So I was always seeing them, you know, they go outside, they take pictures at nice locations, where me, all I have is like a couple of meters around me to use to take pictures. So I was beating up myself about it. I felt like I wasn't creating enough. I wasn't creating good content, you get. So like I said, words of affirmation work a lot. So I had to tell myself that this is the season that I'm meant to be in. You know, there's a season to plant, there's a season to harvest. So it literally made me stop thinking so much about being outside there and just enjoying what I do in school, which is what, because I started focusing on school, I started focusing on creating content for people in my niche, people that are in school and also doing business. So it did make a side of me evolve. So instead of looking out there, because by the time you're envying those people, you slowly stop to create as much as you can actually. So just understand that if you're in school right now, maybe like some kind of uptight private university when you can't go outside, it's not your fault. So stop feeling so bad. Instead, do what you can do. If you're doing photography, find models in your school, work with them and grow your skill. Don't say that, oh, because you're not shooting for fashion week, you're just going to drop your camera and not do anything. No, develop your skill so that out there, when you come out there, they cannot mention your field without calling you. You're literally, your phone is going to be bursting day by day. But if you don't work on that talent, if you don't work on that skill, it's just going to go down. Yep, so try to work on it, and it's the season you're meant to be in. Find out what you're meant to do in this season. There's definitely a reason why you're in the place where you are, and just embrace it and do it. Yeah. Third thing is, I stand by my mother's quotes, and my mom told me this in 100 level when I was resuming for the very first semester, my very first day in school, and she was like that, if you kill yourself, I cannot accept the results. So basically, she was encouraging me. She told me that I should work hard and do my best, but I shouldn't kill myself over any grade, any results, any course whatsoever. So she told me to always take care of myself, take care of my health, get enough rest, and basically just do my best. You know, do your best and leave the rest to God. That's what the advice she gave me, and that has been helping me throughout. So I see people kill themselves. You're trying so hard and you're no longer fine. You don't look good anymore. Everything just looks like stress. Like, it just is not cool, and it's not cool at all. And now we're in this day and age where life becomes cool based on who suffer past. Like, you're just with your friend, I've not slept in 2 days. I want to say I've not slept in 1 month. All right, be deceiving yourself there. But she literally just told me that as much as I want to have the best grade, I should make sure I cater for my health first. So always make sure you're fine. Always make sure you're fine. If you're not feeling too well, then please get checked up. This school is, at the end of the day, it's not really who suffer pass. It's still, because I don't know, like, you just have to ensure that you're doing well. So if you notice that you're down with some symptoms, get yourself checked and all. Because honestly, if you pass away tomorrow because you neglected your health, life is going to move on. For the lecturer, that will probably still give you a nonsense score, and for the rest of your classmates. So just make sure you cater for yourself and your priority, because at the end of the day, we all live and enter this labor market together, and it's literally survival for the fittest. That's it. So cater for your health. Your health is priority, then your grades come next. Don't put your grades before your health. Please don't. Do not do that. Take my mother's quote and run with it, and you'll be fine. So breaks are really necessary. It's very important that you take breaks. When it comes to me, I take breaks both from my brand. Okay, it might not be noticeable breaks, like if you're outside, if you're like watching, because you're watching from the other side, like if you're not inside, or like with my daily life, you might not know that I've taken breaks. But take breaks. I take breaks from class too. Some days I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, like I'm just going to stay indoor, relax, and then rest. It is very, very important. So they will say go to class every day, but really people that have jobs have breaks too, so don't stress yourself. Sometimes the weekend can be your break, but for someone like me, the weekend isn't exactly my break, because weekend is when I work on my brand and all. But there are some weekends too that I decide not to shoot, I decide not to film, I just stay indoor, play games with my friend, get nice meal. I don't read also, so I make sure my mind is at peace. I get a nice movie to watch, I watch the movie. So it's very, very important that you incorporate some kind of break into your life. Not that your life is library building, your departmental building, library departmental building, library departmental building, and there's really no time for leisure in your timetable. You're not a robot, and at some point your body is going to want to take that rest that you refuse to give it, and it won't be pretty if you try to take that rest during exam period. Am I right? Yeah. So I'm just going to go back to the very first point. So also, now you that you're watching this video, you're probably, if you're like maybe top of your class, you're like first class, and you have a very good grade and all, listen, don't look down on anyone that you know is not doing so well in school. Like I see some people, I'm like, they just walk with their head up high because they're like on the first class and all. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Like I like to see human beings as all in the same level, because we all have different struggles. Like we're all going to face struggles one time or the other in the life. So don't just put your shoulders up and be like almighty because you're in the first class and maybe the person you're talking to is like on a 2-2 or even say 2-1. Like, bro, the difference is not that much. So just don't look down on people, because you never really know. You might be the reason why they start to overthink and they start to think of suicide, ways to escape life and other things. So please, no matter who you're dealing with, whether your bank account is fatter than their own, your dad is richer than theirs, please don't talk down on anybody. It's a very sensitive period of our life. We've seen different kind of suicide cases in 2019, and going into 2020, I just really feel like we need to be more cautious about it and how we relate to people. So you are lucky. Yeah, you're doing well, you have good grades and all. If you cannot help someone get up there, if you cannot be nice to them and encourage them, then shut up. Don't tell them, oh, why didn't you read? Don't you have sense? You should know this. No, nobody needs you to open your mouth that way. Just keep quiet about it and move on with your life. Simple. Yeah, so that's just about the whole first part. So about mental health, that's just it. And having good friends really pay, because I notice that when you share things, you feel light, and when you have people to relate with and when you have people to play with, it eases the whole stress of life, the stress of school, everything. So I owe a huge part of my mental health to my friends and also my sisters, because they're always there to talk to, and they listen to me and actually give me valid advice. So don't try to be alone and hurdle through this thing called school and life. That's why you're in a campus. That's why you have roommates, you have floor mates, you have course mates. So don't be alone. It doesn't really help. Try to mingle with people and talk to them, and also try to not just mingle with people, mingle with the right people. You know that person's energy is not pretty for you, so move away. Simple. So that brings me to the end of this video. So to all students out there doing business, I just want you to know that you're doing an amazing thing. It's nice that you've started at this season that you're in, and whatever obstacles that might be thrown at you, keep it up and hurdle. It doesn't really get so easier out there, and I believe in you and you can do it. And all my students out there, engineering, law, science, biochemistry, medicine, you guys are the bomb. Like, just ensure you kill it and enjoy this period of your life. Like, school is to be enjoyed because you won't have this 4 or 5 years again in your life. So whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Face your fears before you leave, so that they don't come back at you when you're outside. I'm probably saying nonsense at this moment in time, but like, you guys are doing amazing and you can do better. Push yourself, and at the end of the day, we'll all throw that graduation hat together and live our best life. Bye.